Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
The clamor for immediate appointment of a new governing board to pilot the affairs of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) has been intensified by several groups in the Niger Delta region in the last few weeks. The following commentary takes a look at the need for a governing board in the wake of the NDDC forensic audit, as well as constraints of the federal government in immediately acceding to the demands for appointment of a new NDDC board.
Lately, some interest groups in the Niger Delta have been in a grumbling mood over perceived delay in the constitution of a governing board to pilot affairs of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), roughly 5 months after the final report of the NDDC forensic audit was transmitted to President Muhammadu Buhari through Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, in September last year. In expressing their anger, some groups have at various times besieged the corporate headquarters of the NDDC in Port Harcourt, demanding an immediate constitution of a new NDDC board. As stakeholders in the Niger Delta project, those clamoring for a new NDDC board in the wake of the forensic audit reserve the right to make their demands on the presidency, especially when such demands are in the collective interest of the region. As they rightly argue, the current interim administrative structure of the commission is alien to the NDDC Establishment Act 2000. What perhaps they may have failed to take into consideration is the fact that transformational change in any system does not happen overnight. At the request of stakeholders in the Niger Delta, notably governors of 9 states of the Niger Delta, who in their September 2019 meeting with President Buhari called for a probe of the NDDC, Mr. President in October 2019 ordered a forensic audit of the Commission's activities since its inception in 2001. The NDDC forensic audit, covering a period of 18 years, is undoubtedly the most comprehensive inquest ever undertaken in the history of Nigeria. In recognition of this fact, the presidency thought it wise to shop for some of the most reputable audit firms operating within and outside the shores of Nigeria, including globally renowned audit firm Ernst & Young, to do a thorough job. The forensic auditors were split into 2 groups. While the lead forensic auditors operated from the NDDC headquarters in Port Harcourt to take an inventory of the Commission's transactions in the period under review, the field forensic auditors were deployed to communities across 9 states of the Niger Delta to identify and physically verify all projects awarded by the NDDC over a period of 18 years. In the end, it was discovered that the NDDC had abandoned no fewer than 13,777 projects initiated to address the numbing challenge of infrastructure deficit in the Niger Delta. In an ongoing debate on the perceived delay in the constitution of a new NDDC governing board, sympathizers of the Buhari administration have equally lashed out at protagonists of the hue and cry as agents of destabilization in the system. According to Buhari loyalists, most of the groups spearheading the clamor for a new NDDC board had maintained a rather placid disposition, while the NDDC was run aground for 18 years, unable to effectively discharge its statutory mandate as an interventionist agency. They recall that the Steve Orasoyen report submitted to the presidency in 2011 had recommended a probe of NDDC activities, which should necessarily be accompanied by a process of reforms to reposition the commission. Sadly, the Steve Orasoyen report was kept in abeyance until it was revisited by the Buhari administration with the institution of a new NDDC forensic audit. At the official commissioning of a 1,050-bed space hostel built for the University of Uyo by the NDDC, President Buhari had informed Niger Deltans that the final report of the NDDC forensic audit was being reviewed and would be implemented vigorously to enthrone probity in the affairs of the commission. It is important to note that the ongoing reform in the NDDC has a dual mandate to retool the commission and bring perpetrators of malfeasance in the system to book. Undoubtedly, it is a complex and complicated task that requires time and a great deal of circumspection to carry out effectively. It is against this backdrop that protagonists of the clamor for immediate appointment of a new NDDC board may need to exercise some measure of restraint and throw their full weight behind the Buhari administration, which has demonstrated the uncommon courage to end many years of official sleaze under the watch of successive governing boards of the NDDC. It is gratifying to note that in the midst of the forensic audit, President Buhari had ordered the NDDC to identify and complete abandoned projects and programs that are otherwise critical to the development of the Niger Delta region. The presidential directive has since yielded fruitful results with the successful completion and commissioning of key NDDC projects awarded at various times. In the last few months, the NDDC, through the intervention of Mr. President, has completed and commissioned the following projects. The NDDC Corporate Headquarters Building Project, awarded over 20 years ago by the defunct Oil Mineral Producing Areas Development Commission, (OMPADEC). The Police Special Protection Unit Base 6, awarded some 10 years ago. The 3.2-kilometer Ambakaderemo Road in Kiagboro, Brutu local government area of Delta State, and the 1,050-bed space hostel built for the University of Uyo. At the moment, several other abandoned projects of the NDDC are at various stages of completion following President Buhari's directive. One of such projects is the NDDC Rural Electrification Project, designed to provide electricity for over 2,000 communities across 5 local government areas of Ondo State that have remained in darkness for over 12 years. Needless to say, the ongoing reform instituted in the NDDC by the Buhari administration is a commendable effort to revamp the commission and place it in a better stead to begin to discharge its statutory obligation to blighted communities in the Niger Delta in a more efficient and effective manner. The anticipated outcome is an accelerated pace of development which would foster social harmony, political stability, and economic development in the Niger Delta region. As laudable as the federal government's intervention may appear, there is no guarantee that its ongoing reform in the NDDC would produce desired results without the buy-in of stakeholders currently agitating for appointment of a new board. Perhaps the presidency, the NDDC and its supervising Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs need to engage more with agitating groups in the Niger Delta to get the much-needed public support in the ongoing transformation of Nigeria's first regional intervention agency.
Inside the Niger Delta,